This is the Freeheel Life Podcast, episode number 66. I'm your host, Josh Madsen, coming at you from the Freeheel Life Shop in Salt Lake City, Utah. And it is time for another podcast because it's Monday. So hopefully you're catching it on the way to work, or even better, on the way to the hill. Every Monday, dropping a new episode. Hopefully you guys are digging them. We're chopping away at the numbers. And it's crazy to think that it's March. So traditionally a good snow time in Utah. However, that means we're nearing the back half of the season and only probably have another, 6-ish weeks until the end of the resort season. So, yeah, on that note, really the only big news item this week is the best day of the entire year of the ski season, of the Telemark year, is happening this Saturday, March 6th. It is World Telemark Day, our annual event where we go celebrate the greatest turn on snow and everybody just gets out. So I've made some posts about this. If you want to learn more about it, you can go on freeheellife.com. If you go to the community section, there's the Cable, which is the new blog that we've got going on. There's only a couple posts in there, but you can read about World Telemark Day, what it is. If you don't know, the basics of it is just go telemark skiing. If you are some of our friends in countries or places where you are not able to ski right now, I know that is extremely difficult, and we are thinking about you. So please celebrate in the way you can. If nothing else, maybe celebrate Telemark Opry style with the beverage of your choice, maybe a little grill action or something, and maybe just take a picture of dropping knees if you're not able to get to the hill, and at least show the motion. And hashtag World Telemark Day if you're a social media person. You can see people from all over the world doing it and going out and skiing. For specific events, please check in with our social media as the week goes on. Our Facebook group is a good place. There is, our Instagram. There's so many meetups that it's hard to know where they all are at. We probably need to come up with a way to do it on the website where you can absolutely see, all of them at once. But I know that there's a couple meetups. I'm just going to mention a couple where people are going to meet up. This is from our Facebook group. There are many, many others going on. Burke Mountain, East Burke, Vermont. Look for people there. Blackjack Mountain in Bessemer, Michigan for the Midwest. And let's see. Snow Derby. I have no idea where that is. Somebody brought up that there's not one. This is Northern Hemisphere. That is correct. First Saturday in September will be World Telemark Day in the Southern Hemisphere. Looks like Loveland. I think Telemark Colorado guys. Looks like Midwest Tele dads are going to be there. Falcon Ridge Ski Slopes, Manitoba, right in the middle of Canada. Get there. One guy said every day is Telemark Day. Of course, we know that. Snowy Range, Southern Wyoming. Make it happen. And Niseko, Hokkaido, Japan. People are meeting up. There's another one in Japan at Kiso Fukushima Ski Resort. And that looks good. So, anyways, there's a couple. Point being, there are telemarkers all around the world that are going to be out telemark skiing together. And this is just all of us celebrating the greatest turn and making it so that we have a day to remember the turn, go out with our friends and enjoy it. Other piece of note with that is the shop is closed. We always close on World Telemark Day. I know it's a Saturday. I know you're probably going to need stuff, but it's in reverence of the turn. We must close the shop and we must go skiing. So we, as a shop crew, will be at Alta Ski Resort in Utah, and follow along. We'll be on the Instagram stories and showing you what's up. And if you are a local or you are traveling to Salt Lake, come ski with us. Look for us. There'll be a massive group of us cruising around, and it's going to be a really fun time. So I can't wait to see all of you there. Speaking of being together as telemarketers, today's episode, I'm going to be talking with my good buddy Taylor Johnson, shop manager at Freeheel Life, and also for the first time ever, Wyatt Daigle, our head ski tech. And we're doing a little Midwest Telefest debrief. The boys went out there a few weeks ago, at the beginning of February, and basically, went up to the 31st annual and got to hang out with Keith Opperman, our service and demo center tech out there, help run the demo, and socially distanced. They had a great, fantastic time sharing Telemark with people up in the Midwest of the United States. So without waiting any longer, let's see what happened. Please welcome Taylor Johnson, and Wyatt Daigle. All right, welcome to the podcast, you guys.
We're here.
Hello.
We're here.
Tay checking in over here on the Riva 1 mic.
And we got Mr. Wyatt Daigle.
Hello. Yeah, here as well.
Welcome. First timer.
Head ski tech here at Freeheel Life. If you've purchased a setup in the last year and a half, maybe. When did you start? Last year?
Yeah. Started
October,
last year.
November-ish, something like that. He was probably the one that mounted it with ultra precision. He's the man. You guys might not see him a lot in the shop front, but he's always working hard for us. He's always doing those rush mounts. He's always appreciative of the tips. You know, if you guys aren't really familiar with the ski industry, you know, sometimes it's nice to throw your ski tech a bone, throw him a ski pack, six-pack, or a ski pack, six-pack.
A ski pack.
Yeah, sorry.
A ski pack and a bone.
Yeah, toss him a bone.
On that note, Wyatt.
Yes.
We were talking about IPAs.
Yeah. So
here, I guess I didn't hear. Do you like IPAs?
Pilsner fan, not an IPA.
Yeah. We were trying to debate this before we get into who you are and what you do. This is obviously way more important, but I'm curious, like, why is it that telemark skiers think that IPAs are preferable over Pilsners?
I don't know. I think it's the whole ski industry in general. It's hooked on the IPAs.
Who started it? That's what I want to know. Or how did this... You might be too young to even answer that question, but I don't know.
21 this September, yeah. So legal drinking, not that long.
You just started in September, so that's not very long.
Yeah.
No, but I mean...
I don't know what those beers that came into the shop last year happened with, but, you know, yeah.
I'm curious why... So if anybody knows the answer, we were debating over this because oftentimes people assume that the double IPA, the IPA, is preferable over Pilsners and other types of beers.
Mm-hmm. Other beverages.
Would you say that most of the tips are IPAs?
That or PBR. I think that's the
very interesting.
The other skier cheap beer.
PBR is okay. You know, it's good. It's good to have something light in our beer fridge. You know,
I guess PBR is a Pilsner technically.
Light beer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, think about that. If you guys have any deep philosophical answers about when IPAs infiltrated telemark ski culture and ski culture at large, I would love to hear your thoughts.
That was actually kind of funny about IPAs. Is Josh, you gave me that warning when I first started working here that IPAs were a thing, and then I had to learn to like IPAs. And you gave me the warning of old Shell Ellison.
Oh yeah, because I told
old right-hand man who does not like IPAs.
He might like them now. I don't know. I think I used to tell people that. I was like, if you don't like IPAs and whiskey and lots of coffee or something like that, I don't know. But that is true though. Like a lot of IPAs.
Yeah, for sure.
So
All right. Well,
Anyways, let's move on. Let's talk to Wyatt. Welcome to the podcast, Wyatt. Tay's been on here a million times, it seems like.
I wish a million.
Whatever.
Only like 6 episodes. Come on.
That's good to be here.
So where are you from?
I grew up in Maine, in Bangor, Maine, and then skied home mountain with Sugarloaf Mountain up by Carabasset Valley in Kingfield. Big shout out to Brenna, Keith, Bob, and Anita, Tele squad back there.
Is that Old Man Bob?
Old Man Bob, yeah.
I've heard
Tommy at a
rumors of Old Man Bob. I think, did Elliot, Backcountry Banana Boy, did he learn to tele from Old Man Bob, or does he just know Old Man Bob?
I think he just knows him. I don't think he learned from Bob.
Right.
Got the half-day lesson from him.
Is he a teacher up there?
No.
Is he related to Brenna?
No, just all like the
same
tele skiers that were up there.
That's pretty cool. Sugarloaf, that's a pretty iconic mountain. And there's a good tele scene up there, right?
I mean, maybe now there is. I mean, it's still like way less than out here. I think there was maybe 10 of us in the whole mountain that were doing it, maybe.
Oh, geez.
But we had bindings in the local shop and boots. So
how'd you, like, what was your inspiration for getting into tele? How old were you when you started?
I think I was like 12 or 13 when I got into it, because I started, didn't get into the alpine or the, freestyle or mogul crowd or do racing. So kind of like after skiing a mountain, so long, want a new challenge and change it up. So parents, friends were telling, and that next fall went to like a used gears shop and bought a pair of skis, axles, and T races, and started off from there.
It's a pretty solid starter setup.
I lucked out. I didn't know at the time that I lucked out, but yeah, solid setup to get started on.
See, that's the thing, is the setups as time goes by are only going to get better that you start on.
I know.
Just think about it. Like
Poor Josh on his old snow fields.
I know.
Or were they snow pines?
No, mine were snow fields.
Snow fields.
I think they're snow fields.
Yeah.
But it is kind of funny because we were talking about that like after the shop closed tonight. There's all the old timers coming in. Oh, I skied these leather boots back in the day. And I mean, literally 10, 15 years from now, you guys are going to be hanging out and people are going to be like you said, they're going to be like, I skied those T2s.
Dude, I started on axles. They were good, man. My glory days on axles.
It's going to be... No, that's where the 75 millimeter thing is definitely going to come in. People are going to be like, oh yeah, I started on 75 millimeter and I skied it. I still ski it you guys probably won't even work on it.
I mean, is that in like 20 years? Is the smelly knee pad going to be on plastics?
No, we're going to have to preserve the boots.
All right. I mean, I don't want to give up our leathers, but
no, but so Wyatt, back to you. Bangor, Maine, skiing the loaf.
Mm-hmm. Ice
Coast, Bangor, Maine. I'm trying to think. That's further north, right? Or is it
like
center?
Hour from the coast, 2 hours from Portland, kind of like lower central.
Because I've been to Freeport.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours or so away up the road.
Yeah,
and that's Kingfield's. I mean, it's a haul up there, but good
it's a big state.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't really know where. Like you say, Bangor, Maine, and I'm like, I don't really know where it is actually.
I don't know either.
Maine's wild, dude. We'll have to go. We'll have to go back with the Mainer here.
I want to go back to Sugarloaf. All my friends out here. I don't ski with anyone that grew up here anymore. Everyone's a Mainer.
That's true.
They just tell me how dope Sugarloaf is. White Nitro.
White Nitro.
White Nitro steep.
Yeah. Is that a run?
Mm-hmm.
White Nitro. Shout out to White Nitro.
When it's firing, it's good. Not the only, but the downhill course too at Sugarloaf.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
For going fast downhill, yeah.
Wow.
Racing.
That's crazy. I've only skied Sunday River. I think it's the only main ski resort.
Someday bigger. That's what we call it, Sugarloaf.
Someday
There's a little bit of a rivalry between the two.
It's cold there though. That's all I remember. I remember because that's Bethel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just remember it being extremely cold and yeah. So it was good.
So how many years were you tele skiing in Maine? Because since I've known you, you were mostly living in Colorado.
Yeah, well, since I met you, I think I was living in Idaho at that point. But I moved to Colorado like 5 or 6 years ago. So I was skiing in Maine on teles for, I want to say like 4 seasons or so.
Hold on.
Because I met, and see, that's what's funny is I met you at Mad River Glen at the 40th annual and the very last NATO Telemark Festival.
Yeah, that ever happened.
Shout out to Dickie Hall. And, but no, I met you there and it was, because I think it was your dad, right? That like I think your dad maybe came up and said, "Hey, my son Wyatt wants to go ski with you," and I was like, "Okay, cool." But like literally, you pretty much looked like you do now, and I was like, he told me you were like, "Oh yeah, he's like 14." He's like, "My kid's out there," and like, I mean, how tall are you? Like 6?
Like over 6 feet, almost 6'1".
Yeah, like you didn't look like a 14. That's all I remember. I'm like, wait, you're 14? And I was like, geez, all right. You're like a full-grown man by this point.
Wyatt lost some weight, though, I think. He used to have a rounder face. I remember seeing that photo of Josh at the NATO Festival with Wyatt way back in the day.
It was a little bulkier back then.
Yeah. It was, yeah. You know.
Nobody needs lightweight boots when you can just shred like 30 pounds.
But that was a sweet day because we, so that was the first time we met. And that was a fun group because it was you, me, Keith Woods,
Renee at Absolute Telemark.
Yep,
too.
Renee Martin, and then I think this Josh guy that I know from, I can't remember his last name, but he was there, and then Dave Bouchard.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Bouchardnar, really old Carhu guy, and he I remember because Bouchard, and that's how it came. So we had this cool little group, and it snowed, and it was like awesome day.
Ripping skiing.
Yeah, it was ripping skiing. And we were like, let's take this single lift up. And Bouchard was going to take us to like some hidden gem past Octopus's Garden or something.
Is that one of those secret glades that you're not allowed to tell anyone about?
Do you remember him saying that? Were you around when he was like discussing it? Because I'm pretty sure he was like, hey, I'm going to take you out to this spot, but like legit, like you can't talk about it.
When I got on, jumped on the lift with Renee, rode up with him, and right as I got to the top, you guys were dropping in the trees. We just just skied that down.
It's hard skiing there.
Oh yeah,
that's tight, and like it's tight.
Take
Dude,
experience.
I want to go for the East Coast shred. Apparently, this Sugarloaf Mountain has a pretty sweet reggae fest at the end of the spring.
Oh yeah.
Corn skiing, that sounds like good times.
How would you compare it, like Mad River? So you've skied Mad River because that's where we met. But how would you compare the woods of Mad River to the woods of Sugarloaf? That's what I'm curious about.
Less rocky, less stuff to jump off of, but I mean, kind of the same skiing. I mean, I don't want to like not hate on Mad River Glen or Sugarloaf comparing tree skiing, but I'd say it's good both ways. Definitely get some longer runs at Sugarloaf vert-wise in the trees, but lot less cliffs to jump off of.
Yeah. I guess Mad River does have a lot of that. It's like I got those weird like rock features and like little icicle or ice falls and stuff like that. That's cool. All right. Well, yeah. So anyways, that's where we met. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, you were like 14, dude.
I think I was 14. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was a long time ago. And then we kind of stayed in touch. And when you moved to Colorado and you were skiing with, was that Steamboat?
Yeah. Steamboat Telemark team, Big Mountain Tele team that was out there.
Yep.
The Steamboat Winter Sports Club.
Yeah. I wonder if that's around anymore.
A couple of the kids, so there was like 5 or 6 of us that were in the team at that point.
Yep.
But most people aged out, unfortunately, so left and went to college. So it's kind of gotten a little
dwindled.
smaller since then, unfortunately. But
did you ski Howelson Hill?
A couple times, yeah.
That place that's cool.
It's steep for a little in town, ski resort.
Yeah, I totally forgot that existed. Yeah, because I used to show my movies at Howelson Hill. They had like a little clubhouse thing at the bottom, and anyways, that's cool. So because you moved to Colorado, and then
came out. We met at the comps. Yeah, came out to compete to when the comp used to be at Targhee.
Yep.
For the Telemark Big Mountain Comp.
Yep. Freeheel Life Cup, RIP.
Mm-hmm.
Those good times.
Yeah, good old days.
That is funny because and your dad is a photographer by trade.
Yeah.
So he's very good at taking, like, your dad's awesome at documenting.
Yeah.
I know, because like every time, like, he'll like shoot me a text and like there's always like a photo with it. Like, grateful for your friendship, and then there'll be like an awesome photo, and I'm always like, that's so cool. He like takes, like, he just documents your whole life's probably documented.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially the past couple. I think every comp we got a photo together. And
yep. Totally.
Cool to see that.
And then
James is also our one of our top Facebook fans.
I think he's holding number 1.
He's always good to throw in a comment or two, but Facebook gives us little notifications of if you're a top fan, meaning you interact with our stuff a lot, and Wyatt's kind of embarrassed about that. But James Daigle holds it down. Thanks, James.
I love that. That's awesome. Because well, because so they moved from from Bangor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all moved out to Colorado.
Fort Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that? Like moving? Did you spend much time? Did you go to high school there, or were you already graduated by then?
Did a year and a half of high school out there. So yeah, did the sophomore and half of junior and half of sophomore or senior year. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, but it was great. Moved out and got to ski Colorado and much bigger terrain. So I was stoked and whole new kind of state to check out and a lot different out here than it is in the East. So
totally. Yeah. Because I feel like, yeah, because we had kind of stayed in touch over the years. And then I don't even remember how, there was a point where I remember your dad reached out and was like, you must have been like right out of high school. Cause I think your dad was like, hey, Wyatt might be looking for a job. But then I think you ended up at 22 Designs that year.
Yeah.
And, up in Driggs.
Yeah. Like my second winter out of high school ended up in 22 Designs. Yeah. For the first year of Lynx production. Yeah.
What did you do up there?
That was basically a 22 Designs job of, assembling bindings, checking, and all that. It was really cool too, because I was a first year of Lynx production. So ran a little bit late, but seeing that whole new binding come in and that whole kind of assembly process was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. What's it like making all those bindings? Because I think people don't realize how small.
I didn't realize how small it was.
Like people, because if you're like into it, you're like, oh, 22 Designs. Yeah. Like those guys are mega.
Yeah.
But you know, and then you get there and you're like, oh, wait. Like it's a pretty small company, like most of us,
Get to Driggs, small town, and then just a small company in the Driggs off, industrial park next to Basin Burger.
Basin Burger?
Gas station / do
they have
fast
hamburger?
Food joint. Yeah.
Oh.
Great burgers in town.
Never had the Basin Burger. I'll have to check that out next time. I don't even know what that is.
But yeah, super small operation, so it was cool to see that. And I mean, because the first binding I got was an axle and ended up pulling that out of, a handful of skis. So each time was kind of adding parts or buying parts from Freeheel Life and fixing my bindings to remount them. So
back in your Thrasher days.
Yeah.
Wyatt has an old nickname of Thrasher.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it was a
Why aren't we calling you that now?
Well, he's not Thrasher anymore. He's more like the Thing. He's the Kool-Aid man smashing through walls.
Arms wide.
We do need the Kool-Aid man logo for you for sure.
Yeah, but I was heavy on gear, beating it up. I think I don't want to say how many skis I blew up. It's not a good cycle or not a good time for buying skis. Parents weren't that stoked.
How was it building the binding? Were you assembling all bindings that they had at the time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so kind of like switching around. You do different, kind of mix it up each day, but you're assembling, axles, vices, outlaws, and then the links.
What do you think, like looking back on that, what was the most, difficult or like interesting part of that whole process? I mean, did you just feel like you learned a lot like about the bindings, or was it like easier or harder? I mean, that's a lot of, I feel like you guys actually assemble quite a bit of bindings for how small of a crew you guys run up there.
Yeah, I think I think I came into it too knowing the binding pretty well, so it was easy to just kind of jump into it and start assembling. Like checking because like on axles, there is quite a bit of adjustment you have to do to get everything, torque mechanism working right. But yeah, just seeing too how many bindings are getting shipped out all over the world is pretty amazing to see when pallets go out the door.
Yeah.
Or when seeing a binding too on the hill and kind of knowing too you get some part in making Telemark bindings, and I think the best one's the market now.
Yeah, it's been it's been awesome to have you here, Wyatt, as part of our team now, because you have kind of that intimate knowledge with the 22 Designs binding specifically. And obviously we see a lot of other stuff in the shop, but we see a lot of 22 Design stuff, and even just repairs and stuff like that. You've had experience with, okay, how does this binding get put together? How can I fix it? What kind of checkpoints am I looking for? So, when unfortunately every piece of ski gear has the opportunity to break, but the 22 Design stuff, although is really good and super durable, if you do break it and you're here in Salt Lake City, we got a man named Wyatt that can fix it.
You actually do know how to fix way more stuff than we do. I mean, before, like, I think we had a fairly extensive. Like we were all right. Like we could fix most anything, but I think, like Taylor said, intimate knowledge. Like you've assembled them. So I think even some of the fixes that we didn't know how to do, like you were pretty dialed on, which was a good asset.
It's Telemark. You're gonna break gear. It's inevitable. It seems like in the sport that you're either pulling out of bindings or blowing up bindings.
Yep. No, that's true. And so I guess, okay, so you've had a pretty cool Telemark journey if you think about it, because you're pretty young. I want to mention too, you are like one of the most mechanical dudes I know for how young you are. Tell people a little bit about what your high school era. Dig into this, because
high school was in did First Robotics, which is a kind of competitive robotics tournament or team, but there's teams all around the world. So basically, a challenge gets released, and then you're going to build a robot using either a kit of parts, or basically you can get any parts within a certain budget, and then build a robot to compete in that challenge. So I was fortunate back in Maine, was on a team, ended up going to like the Worlds twice. We didn't end up like placing that high out of the, was like a couple thousand teams that go. But, great experience learning how to do all that and getting to play with robots that, very expensive robots is always fun.
Like, how does that even work? Like, what are the challenges? Like, do you remember any of the challenges that they gave you?
It's all kind of like a game. So like you have there usually is 6 people, 2 opposing teams on a side. So it's kind of, each year they release a new challenge. So it's kind of depending, but a lot of it's like there's a points and there's defense as well in it. So it's, kind of like any sport, they kind of design it like a soccer or, something like that. But instead of humans playing, you're using robots to control it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Like, how do you make a robot? Where do you even start? Are you literally creating something is it like remote control?
So there's a pre-programmed period at the beginning of the round, and then you have a autonomous or teleop, and then autonomous and then a teleop, so you can control the robot.
What's teleop? It sounds like Telemark.
Yeah.
There's obviously Telemark built into the robot.
Like telephone operated or something like that?
That's like using controls and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, using a joystick.
I'm just checking. Look.
Yeah.
This is like way over our head.
We all know, like, I know how to sell things. I don't know how to build things, which is why Wyatt is a great asset to our team, because he knows how to build
That's
things.
why I wanted to dig into this, because he obviously knows how to build robots, and that could be an asset for your Telemark bindings, right?
Exactly.
There's the pitch.
Yeah, like a robotic Telemark binding, it does some work for you. That'll really make people mad. NTN's too easy. Yeah, how about try this robotic Telemark binding?
The teleop binding.
We gotta save that name. We gotta bleep that out of the podcast episode.
All right, sorry, we digress.
Yeah.
But teleop. So
yeah, pre-programmed period. I think it was like 15 seconds. So like you could score points in that period, and then you could control it. But yeah, basically robots being built from the ground up. You're like getting gearboxes, but you design your own drivetrain, motor controllers. Whole 9 yards, cut it out of metal, doing all that.
That's wild. Okay, I know, I've seen that, because sometimes they used to like televise that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's like BattleBots, which is the televised
that's the one I'm thinking.
I've seen that on TV.
Our budget does not allow for us destroying the robot every round.
That's okay.
That
So it's not like that stuff, because those were always like, they had like arms that would like destroy other robots and stuff or whatever. Okay, I just wanted to touch on that, because I always thought that was a fun part of your background, is like this fact that you were like a robotics competitor.
Yeah, our high school team budget did not allow for us destroying the robot.
Okay, so you've done robotics. You've assembled 22 designs bindings. You've been our head ski tech for 2 years, and so good start. Are you liking living in Utah? Skiing's pretty good.
Skiing's good. Big city, but
a little too big.
A little too big, but
is Bangor not very big?
Maybe we're like 40,000 now, 30,000.
Oh, that's pretty small.
It's small compared to Salt Lake City.
The whole state of Maine's like 1.2 million, I think.
Oh wow,
I could be wrong on that, but I think it's pretty
and we
close
got
to 1 million.
1.2 million people within 40 minutes of our shop, probably.
Yeah, no, for sure. Driggs is small.
Driggs is more my speed. Yeah.
Fort Collins is probably, I mean, that's a lot of people too.
Yeah, that was already a big switch going to that.
Huh. Small town. Yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. Skiing's good though. You guys
amazing skiing down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wyatt and I have had an awesome time the last, year and a half, basically. Unfortunately, we got our, spring skiing last year kind of cut short with COVID stuff, but excited for the spring skiing, and it's been really fun skiing around with Wyatt in the last year or so.
Yeah.
I mean, get to know someone at work, but you really get to know someone on the mountain.
I'm glad you guys get to ski more now that we I think that's seems like it's helped altering the schedule a little bit so everybody can ski on the same days.
Yeah.
Monday shred up at Alta, we got a fat, almost the whole team's out skiing.
Yeah. No, this has been a fun year, switching up the schedule. Shop hours, sorry, we're not available on Mondays. We are skiing. This was the first year that we closed the shop on Mondays. But I think the Tuesday through Saturday stuff has been working out just fine. And then if you guys want to know some details of employment at Freeheel Life, for our full-time crew here in the winter, we usually roll with 410s. So you can kind of bang out full-time work and then have 3 full days to go skiing.
Bell to bell.
3 full days of bell to bell and 4 days of 4 10-hour shifts is, doesn't leave a lot of time for laundry and doing the dishes and stuff. So every once in a while you need a half day so you can go, be a responsible adult. But
it is funny how you guys are skiing bell to bell, because that definitely changed, I think, this year, because it used to be people showing up in their bibs to work, running in trying to change before a 1 o'clock shift.
When I started working at Freeheel Life, it was definitely all right, Josh, can I come in at 1 p.m.? Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go skiing until 11:57 when I could, if I hit every light, then I could make it back to the shop, by 12:42, and then I could have 20 minutes to change out of my ski pants, throw some jeans and a t-shirt on, then we'd be good to go. But I think honestly, doing those 3 full days or 2.5 full days of skiing, I get more hours on skis than I did when I was skiing 5 days a week, but only 2.5, 3 hours a day. So I don't know.
Less time booting up in the morning.
It's getting harder to just drive up in the morning and ski a couple hours and then get back, because there's more people.
Yeah, I mean,
some days
Utah's no secret. It's good skiing, and I think I have to have that perspective, a lot of the perspective that it's really good skiing and we get a lot of snow and we have really good terrain, and there's certainly some crusty locals, but I try to have that moment of reflection of if I wasn't lucky enough to grow up skiing here, I would probably want to travel and ski here. And, a lot of people living here in Salt Lake City and more people moving, and, it kind of is, it just is what it is. But if we're doing bell to bell days, spending an hour in a car each way or less, well, if you spend an hour and a half or 2 hours driving, if you get, 7-8 hours of skiing in, the math works out. That's a good trade-off.
Yeah, you guys are doing good. Okay. I think that's a good segue into
having perspective on the ski industry, ski world.
Well, and yeah, I mean, part of why, one, I wanted to intro Wyatt here because I think we've needed to get more of the shop crew on, because you guys have put a lot of time in.
And
we appreciate that. And so we want to make sure people out, you listeners out there, are starting to get to know these guys and gals.
And we got a lot of awesome, employees that have not been on the podcast yet. And so we owe them an episode, I think. Maybe you guys have talked to people on the phone, or, they probably answered an email or something, or maybe even helped you in the shop here. But we've introduced Wyatt, and now I think the point of this Friday night podcast was...
Our segues suck, dude.
Dude, we were talking about perspective on the ski industry, and my mind was blown. So, if you didn't know, the 31st Annual Midwest Telefest happened week of Valentine's Day weekend, 2021.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. It was Valentine's weekend. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you guys find any Valentines out there?
Well...
I mean, let's talk about it. No, I mean, you don't have to talk about it on the podcast.
I'm not an honorary member of the Midwest Tele dads. We'll just put it that way. But we had a good time.
Perfect. I love it. All right. Well, so this is it. Like this, what we wanted to do is debrief on you guys going to Midwest Telefest. I was stoked that you guys got to go, and we originally, I think it was good because originally I was like, oh, we'll just save money and we'll send Tay by himself. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, maybe we should make sure there's two guys there, which I think actually ended up being good from a travel perspective.
100%. No, I think, I mean, I probably could have managed solo, but
that would have been a lonely drive.
Pretty heavy travel. Like, okay, so Midwest Telefest is in the UP of Michigan at Porcupine Mountain
Upper Peninsula
State Park. Sorry, I'm abbreviated. You know, now maybe I'm a Youper, so you know.
Oh man,
for a week
you're going deep.
But okay, so you know, this is a long-running event, and we now have a satellite service and demo center in Washburn, Wisconsin, which is still probably 2.5 hours or so from Porcupine Mountain State Park. But Keith, he was running a demo day and organizing this event, and you know, we wanted to show our support, and we also were excited to go travel. So I guess, should we just start from square one and start a recap of the trip? Yeah.
I think that it'd be fun for people to hear kind of like, going from here. And despite what I said on the other podcast, you had been to the Midwest.
Well,
but
we didn't know what the Midwest, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I didn't know what the Midwest meant.
I haven't been skiing in the Midwest.
I had never been skiing in the Midwest.
We should have distinguished like latitude.
Yeah.
Because
we were
like Chicago is like, you've been to Chicago.
I have been to Chicago.
Have you been to Chicago?
Yeah.
Like, so Chicago's kind of got like, it's, you know, it's a city.
Yeah. But it's like the third biggest city in the country.
Have you been north of the Chicago latitude?
Well, I don't have a map in front of me. Like, how far north? I think I've been more north than Chicago. I've been to Glacier National Park.
But that's like Montana.
That's a west. I don't know. You said latitude. You didn't say latitude and longitude.
Okay, so Midwestern.
There's also some
latitude.
debate about Nebraska. I've been to Nebraska many times.
I like that you keep bringing Nebraska.
Dude, how is that not the Midwest?
There's no skiing in Nebraska.
I wouldn't call.
There probably is. There's probably some little ski bump in Nebraska.
Iowa, yes. I'm not sure about Nebraska. We'll look into that. There's a couple states we need to go shred. I'm just saying that it should be on the list that we should go shred some of these states.
Okay. So
anyways,
either way,
let's get back to business.
Josh proclaimed that I had never been to the Midwest. I had never been skiing in the Midwest. I'd never been to Wisconsin. I'd never been to Minnesota. I had never been to Michigan. And now I have been to all three of those states. But so we flew from Salt Lake City to Denver, had to change planes, and then flew to Minneapolis. So that was already like
5 hours.
The flights are quick, but you got to get to the airport early, and then we had a hour and a half to change planes in Denver, and then get to Minneapolis. Thankfully, our ski bags made it. Very crucial part. I mean, we're going to a Telefest.
That was good. I'm impressed that actually worked.
Yeah, it's so nice to see your ski bags when you get to a destination on a ski trip. But so then, we figured out, we got to the rental car place. We had to step outside of the airport to go to the rental car place and experience the first bit of Midwest cold. And it was probably like 5 degrees. It wasn't that cold, but it was
coming from shorts or t-shirt and jeans in Utah.
Yeah, it had been 50 degrees in Salt Lake in the valley, so it's like almost feeling like spring down here. So we rented this super dope Chevy Silverado, nice white.
Oh yeah, I heard it sounded like you were falling in love with a truck now, dude.
Dude, it was kind of fun, like
Mr. Audi wagon.
Look, I'm used to driving a little German car, and it was fun to hop into the Silverado. It was a little tough, like at first, to adjust to driving around in Minneapolis, like kind of tight streets, and we figured it out. But
did you guys go to Matt's?
You got a Juicy Lucy.
We went to Matt's.
Dude, I didn't even ask you guys. You did get...
Oh, yeah.
How legit are those?
Great burger. Cheese inside the burger.
Juicy Lucy, for those of you that don't know. And shout out to Shell Ellison, who taught me what a Juicy Lucy was. But yeah, it's cheese inside of the burger.
I didn't
tell me what...
We walked in there, too. The bar's pretty big, but this guy was grilling up burgers on like a 2-foot by 2-foot grill. The whole kitchen was, the size of a closet.
It's small.
Tiny place, yeah.
So we got some Juicy Lucy's and...
Okay, I didn't know if you did that. That's
order
awesome.
of fries, and we had can of Coca-Colas. We weren't ready for beers yet. We still had a...
I like that you called it Coca-Cola.
It's pop.
It's a pop. Yeah, actually,
pop.
that is funny, listening to the language that the Midwesterners
It's not soda.
It's not a soda. It's a pop.
Yeah. Good call. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a pop.
We weren't ready for beers at that point in the day. We still had a long ways to go because then we hopped back in the Silverado and we were driving to Washburn, Wisconsin to meet up with Keith and to check out
the new service and demo center.
The new service and demo center.
How's it looking?
Beautiful out there.
Keith's got a good setup. It's there's a couple minor tweaks. We really tried to emulate like the exact setup that Wyatt has here at HQ. Keith put a couple Midwest spins on it, but it looks pretty close. He's got all the same tools. Wyatt trained him. So if you are somewhere in that area and need to get something mounted, Keith will hook it up. He'll take care of you.
Yeah. No, it's cool that he's up there. I haven't even been there to Washburn.
Yeah, it was an interesting town, like kind of, small town, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people living in Washburn, and that's like 15 minutes outside of Ashland, which probably had 7,000. So, not like super tiny towns, but decent. Definitely small towns.
Basically between Duluth and Ironwood, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're traveling on Highway 2, I think it is.
Highway 2, yep. Going. We went east on Highway 2, and I mean, okay, so like our full travel day, we get to Washburn. It was definitely pretty close to midnight, if not after. Like it was a long day, and then we got the tour of Keith's shop, and then we were, getting kind of stocked up with water and some other supplies for the Midwest Telefest, and then we were rallying through Washburn at about 1 a.m. in the morning, and we
heading to the cabin.
We arrived at the cabin.
I'm excited to hear about this because Keith, all I know is Keith's like, all right, I'm going to put the boys out on my land. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And he's like, well, there's no electricity and there's an outhouse. And that's what I'm thinking like, oh, this is awesome.
It was
like,
perfect.
It was actually pretty nice. So I think this cabin was Keith's dad's spot. I think they built it. Like, I think the Oppermans seem like very DIY people. Like they do it themselves. They do it. They figure it out. And so, we got our jugs filled up with the artisan water from Washburn.
Oh yeah, he told me about
spring water. It was good water. Yeah, artisanal water. So we rolled into the cabin at about probably after 1 a.m, like super late night, and I mean, we had electricity running on a generator.
Oh, propane heater, propane lamp. It was sweet. The outhouse had plenty of windows in there. It was wonderful.
The toilet seats were cold in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's the worst part, dude, right? The toilet seats in an outhouse. That's
freezing.
Cold.
I don't know. It was a good wake. It woke me up. Good a little adrenaline rush at about 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever. It was only like minus 15.
Telly Day waking up to his
freezing your ass off.
Saddling up on the
freezing my cheeks on the outhouse seat.
Was it that cold? Minus 15?
I think it got down to minus 15 at night and pretty cold in the mornings.
You
and
almost need ass chaps for the outhouse.
Oh, don't forget to talk about the ass chaps.
Well,
did you guys get a pair, by the way?
We
can talk about it later, but I just want to make sure
we got a rental pair of ass chaps. Keith has like 8 pairs of ass chaps for his friends. So if you want to go ski with Keith in the Midwest, he'll hook it up with a pair of ass chaps.
Freeheel Life Only fans, check it out.
All right. So Wyatt, I guess, I don't know. I feel like I've been doing a lot of storytelling. So We wake up in the cabin. We had a twin bed on the main floor, and then I slept on the
loft top.
It was definitely 2 thermarests stacked up, but I slept fine. You know, we were tired after a long day of travel, so we wake up. I used the outhouse. It was freezing on my cheeks. And then
Got the gear ready and headed off to Whitecap.
Whitecap hardcore.
Yeah.
All right, Wyatt, bring us in. What Whitecap, for those of you who don't know, is a resort.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at what town was it in?
It's kind of outside of Ironwood.
Okay, yeah.
It's not quite. It's kind of. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, because the funny enough is Keith told me about Whitecap all last year when I went there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what he was talking about. And when I left Telefest, I was like, oh, I'm gonna take this back way, and legit, I was like driving by this little town, and I just all I remember seeing this like very Midwest bar that had like old time sign on it, and then there was like this turnoff literally in the middle of nowhere to Whitecap, and I was like, wait, what? I'm like, this is what, like, I mean, it was not close to anything. So I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but it felt like really not by anything.
I mean, I felt like we were in the middle of nowhere the whole time, but I'm a city boy.
We also pull up, and think we were like the 3rd car to the parking lot, probably the last one of the day. No one else skiing.
I mean, we
day.
didn't get to Whitecap till like at least noon.
Yeah.
It was kind of a late start that day.
Oh, so you guys only got there like half day.
Yeah.
It was fine. There was nobody.
Anyways,
in our way.
Whitecap Resort. So take us away, Wyatt, from Whitecap Resort. You guys show up there at noon.
600 feet of vert there. I mean, it's a big resort. I think the most.
I think a little
lower.
less.
Oh,
but
okay.
It was good vert.
Yeah, a lot of lifts there. But I mean, interesting skiing. Definitely didn't get the snow we got up in the Porkies, but skiing some trees over there. A little more saplings poking through. A little more shrubs to negotiate when you're skiing down the glades. But
Yeah, I don't think it was I don't think it's been the best winter in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But like Whitecap seemed to me like Whitecap was the type of place where someone invested a lot of money into Whitecap at some point.
Not recently, but
And then they've just been running the lifts ever since that initial investment.
Just kind of old school.
there must have been like 6 or 7 lifts there.
And like 4 of them were running.
Yeah. Very low speed, you know.
Because what you guys were there on Thursday?
Yeah.
You guys skied on, yeah, so it was a weekday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like most of the lifts were like lift towers are rusty. And
Most.
If anybody's listening from Whitecap, they're going to be like, you guys are such assholes.
No. We had an awesome time. And we're honorary members of Whitecap Hardcore.
Who's part of Whitecap? What is this Whitecap Hardcore?
Oh, you got stickers.
It's like the club of like hardcore.
I thought you guys were like the third car at noon.
We were. You know, it was awesome. Like I was asking Keith, you know, is this like normal?
So where's Okay.
There was legit like 4 other skiers besides Wyatt, myself, Keith, and Keith's son Gavin. So we had a four-man tele crew, and then legit like 4 other skiers there. And I'm like, is this normal for the weekdays? He's like, yeah, pretty much.
How? Okay, so Wyatt, you coming from East Coast?
Yep.
Did this feel surprising, like terrain-wise?
No.
Yeah,
it felt pretty standard.
Because you've seen little bumps like this.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of smaller resorts in Maine that I grew up skiing when I was on like the race team in middle school, and we go around and do some rope tow only, you know, lifts, or when they have a small 2-pack lift. Yeah,
your level of surprise doesn't sound super like
pretty standard. Felt close to the same as skiing in the East Coast.
I was more excited to hear Telly Tay's reaction because Telly Tay's like growing up at Alta.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like. That's why I was saying, I'm like, you haven't been to the Midwest. You're like, I've been to Chicago and Nebraska. And I'm like, all right, like, this is why I'm sending you out there, because I want you to go see what this is. I mean, come on. When you pull it, give me that, not to take your thunder away here, Wyatt,
go ahead.
You drive into the parking lot at Whitecap at noon. What's your first impression?
I was... Honestly, I was a little unimpressed. I was just like
from the size of it, or what?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I really tried to go at this trip with an open mind. Like, look, I'm very blessed to have grown up skiing in Utah and probably very spoiled and, all that good stuff. But, it was just like, all right, cool. Like, we're going skiing in Wisconsin. It's maybe like 300 vert and no one's here. Like, all right, like, I really tried to have an open mind. Like, I didn't want to have any expectations. I just said, let's go try to take in that experience. And, that experience was interesting. Like, I think I could totally see, like, the terrain at Whitecap was actually pretty cool. Like, it was relatively steep. Mm-hmm. It was just short. There was just not a lot of the steep. Yeah, but I think on a good snow day, like, you could have a ripping good time. I think they needed a couple more storms to kind of fill in the little
a lot of snakes,
saplings and twigs and stuff that, made the glade skiing more adventurous. Yeah. But, like lifts and stuff, they were all mostly like double fixed grips and stuff. And most of them were kind of these like interesting, like plastic bucket seats that I'd never really experienced before. And then
cushions.
Some of them were
fiberglass cushions. Is that what you said?
Just hard fiberglass or the wood slats that are halfway cracked through, ready to fall off.
The other half of the lifts too were wooden slats across the chairlift, and at least the one chair, it was like, they fixed a couple of these wooden slats, but
it's like
some of them were like, I think this is about to break.
It's like a different time. Like the era of these places for sure.
Yeah, it felt like going old school, but I think Whitecap is like, I don't know, it's maybe like 25 minutes, something like that, away from Keith's house, and that's kind of his like preferred local mountain because I think it is bigger than Mount Ashwa Bay. That's kind of their super close mountain. That's like 10 minutes from their house.
That's right there.
Mm-hmm.
But they're season pass holders at Whitecap, and like Whitecap, I had, it was awesome. It was awesome, but it was totally shifting of my perspective of what kind of skiing is. Like, that was a good reminder of like how spoiled and lazy and entitled Utah skiers are.
Yeah, we totally suck out here. Like, basically, if it's like not Bluebird and like a couple inches of fresh, we're like, yeah, I'm probably not going.
Yeah, I mean, I get
and
that.
Like, and then like guys like Wyatt from the East Coast, they're like, it's like I always say, they're skiing in trash bags, dude, because
if
it's raining.
You're gonna go skiing, and then the next day,
I have yet to ski in a trash bag.
You're for sure gonna ski in a trash bag. We're gonna make it happen for sure. No, all right. So that's what I wanted to hear. That was kind of I wanted to hear that.
It was just,
reaction because it's different.
It was
man.
just different.
That's what I'm saying. A West Coast skier, I think we don't pay attention. This is our moment of compassion.
Like, the one thing I will say about anyone that skis in the Midwest is you are hardcore. It's cold. The skiing is, like maybe big for the area, but relatively small to other ski areas. But you are dedicated, and I appreciate that passion of just like, if you have a local bump, as Keith was calling them, your 300-foot bump local to you, and that's 15 minutes from your house, but like the quote big mountain, that's like 600 vert is 2, 3, 4 hours away. Like, you will drive there on the weekends, and that's like, not my style. Or not my norm.
But you don't even have, dude. I mean, that's not even your style. But just to almost in defense, it's like you literally can go to like 10 resorts within under 2 hours.
Yeah, definitely. And it just like, I appreciated like just the energy from people of like, okay, you're really hardcore and dedicated to like, if you're a skier there, you are into it. Like, you are committed, and I appreciated that. Okay, so we wrap up our day at Whitecap.
Yeah, Whitecap was good.
Whitecap was just like, Midwest Telefest started Friday.
We missed the wine hut. That was the only thing at Whitecap we didn't experience.
Oh, I've seen that place.
We skied past it, but didn't get to go inside and have any wine.
Keith told us some dirty stories about the wine hut.
I was just going to say, Keith told me some dirty stories about
original
the wine
shag
hut.
Carpet when they got back.
He said, do not bring a black light into the wine hut.
We'll just leave it at that.
Leave it at that. But, okay, so then we hop on the road. We're caravanning. Keith's got his Was it 250 or 350? Probably 350.
Big truck.
Big truck. Keith's got his F350. I've got my rental Silverado. You know, Wyatt's too young to drive the rental car, so I was driving the rental truck the whole time.
I was on navigation.
Wyatt was a good co-pilot. You know, he was navigating for me. He was handing me water. He was handing me snacks. He was getting the playlist going. Wyatt's a perfect co-pilot.
Wow.
So
that's impressive, dude.
He took care of me while I was driving.
Wyatt's apparently for hire, everybody. If you need a good co-pilot
take
for
him
your
out
road
to
trip.
Tele Festival, he'll probably co-pilot for you. Yeah. But so then we were, I think, about 2.5-ish hours away from Porcupine State Park, and as we were driving to Porcupine State Park, we kind of got the tour from Keith of all these little local mountains that are just
and some big ones
on the way. Like we drove past and stopped in the parking lot at this lift that is outside of a community college, Gogabec Community College, that I think is one of, if not the only, ski area management degrees in the United States.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He told me that.
And
same people that are operating the Porkies as well.
Same people that are operating the Porkies. So like these community colleges this community college is operating Mount Zion, and they had like lights up and night skiing and stuff because this was kind of later in the day. We skied a couple hours in the afternoon, and then we stopped by Big Powderhorn, which seemed like a pretty big spot. I mean, they must have had like at least 6, maybe 7 lifts that we could see from the parking lot.
That's where you guys took that photo with the skier
at the ski capital of the Midwest.
I think
I love that
the
photo.
Debated ski capital of the world, or the U.S., right?
Midwest, yeah, ski capital of the Midwest, and then Whitecap, Blackjack,
yep.
Indian Head. And then if we stop by one more, I forgot the name, but I think that was pretty much it. But basically, those were all on the way there.
It's all on that highway too.
It was pretty cool just to see, like, yeah, it's just like the local ski hill that's just, it's just there. And, it's not that busy because there's just not that many people that live up there. It's pretty small towns that surround that stuff. And then, yeah, we finally got to the Lake of the Clouds cabin complex that had about 4 or 5 cabins that we were staying at for start of Midwest Telefest.
We got the ski cabin.
Silver City,
Michigan.
Yeah.
Right there on Lake Superior. Do you call it a coast or is that just oceans?
No, it's a coast of Lake Superior.
The coast, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Youper, but I would say
bank. I don't know. Whatever. We'll just go with the coast of Lake Superior because it sounds cooler.
Honestly, you can surf, so you can call it a coast.
So we were getting
big
the
lake.
Coastal vibes driving up. We could see a big frozen lake.
Those things are massive, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to compare that to.
No.
Like that, I mean, nothing here. I mean, we have the Great Salt Lake. That's kind of big. And
I think
weird,
it's small compared to the actual Great Lakes, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we don't hang out at this Great Salt Lake.
No one's swimming in that.
Side note, if anybody's wondering if we hang out at the Great Salt Lake and you're a local,
We do not.
Nobody goes there. Have you been there?
I mean, I've been there.
Have you floated in it?
I didn't walk out that far. I walked out to about my calves.
We should have a Freeheel Life float day. It's so gross. But anyways, all right.
So
back to Silver City.
Yeah, we're in Silver City. We pull into our cabin. That's going to be kind of our spot to stay for the weekend. Shout out to Ashley playing Team Mom. She kind of booked all this stuff for us. Wyatt and I really...
We had no clue.
We had no clue where we were going, where we were staying, when we were leaving.
What we were
It
driving.
was just like, we knew we were leaving 7 a.m., meet at the airport, and then, yeah.
That's true. Ashley
Sunday.
is like Team Mom. Did she pack you guys like orange slices?
She didn't pack us orange slices, but she did all the heavy lifting of the logistics of travel. All we had to do was show up at the airport, get the rental car, and drive to Keys. So shout out to Ash for taking care of us. But so we get settled into the ski cabin, and then I don't know if this is just a COVID thing or if this is like a normal thing for the Midwest, but we just, got a fire going. And I put on every layer I owned, and I'm standing outside, and we just stared at the fire for like 2 hours. And
Why are you okay? You're from Maine, dude. I mean, that's like high. Again,
Same.
I don't think I've said latitude more than once in my life, but I'm saying it again.
I think it's close to the same latitude.
That's what I'm
across,
saying.
Yeah.
You're from a cold place.
Yeah, we'd have like.
Are you experiencing these same things? That's what I'm kind of curious about. Like, are you getting to?
I got soft being out here, but I mean, it's still.
So you
pretty
showed
used
up
to it being like -20 or in the below zero.
I also saw you had your like Midwest Tele Dad's hat on with like the ear flaps.
I came in clutch.
It was like Griswold family vacation every time I saw a photo of you pop up. So.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
but is that like a normal thing? Like, do you people just like hang out outside around a campfire in the winter?
Were you guys outside or inside?
We were outside. I mean, it was COVID. We were trying to be like relatively COVID safe and stand outside. And
I mean, I was there for last year. We definitely did not hang out outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
That seems ridiculous. You just said it was like -15.
Well, we had a campfire. Like, at least the fire was warm.
I mean, better than no fire and being outside. So
definitely better than no fire than being outside. And so, yeah, we kind of had a nice little chat at the fireside chat, getting to know each other. We had, I mean, at least I had spent time with Keith a little bit here. Wyatt had spent a little more time with him, training him here back in November, and we're hanging out with Steve Benson from Duluth. Super nice guy, Agreeable Steve on Instagram. And
good dude, good people.
we were just chatting, and I was getting my first dose of that Midwest nice, of just nice people and good company. And then we kind of eventually ended up calling it a night. It was a pretty late night again.
Relatively early, trying to get some rest to ski powder the next day. Because Porky's was closed. They're closed on Monday to Thursday?
Tuesday to Thursday. I think they might be open Friday to Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they didn't, okay, so we woke up Friday morning. This is day one of Midwest Telefest. We wake up and there must have been at least 4 or 6 inches fresh.
Oh, more than that, I think.
More than that, maybe. Plus, there was a couple storms earlier that week, so no one had been skiing it. And
you guys nailed it, because I remember like watching video from that first day, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
We absolutely nailed it. Like, sometimes when you plan a ski trip, you just get so lucky, and you just get money conditions.
No, but that's great. I mean, why? Yeah, you were saying like it wasn't even open.
I got a powder, I think, in Utah really this season. It was nice out there.
Well, but the other thing that was crazy is I'm watching videos from you guys are posting videos on Instagram and stuff. Like, I mean, you're not competing for it like at home.
No.
I mean, like,
we were getting fresh turns all day long.
No, there was zero thought of a lift line.
There
was like
no
only
powder.
People on every like fourth chair going up the lift.
No powder panic.
I mean, yeah, the powder panic, and I think people. I guess like you're talking about crusty old locals. Like I definitely am like, I know we've talked about this because it's like, I'm like, it's getting so busy around here. But I love it. But I like seeing you guys experience that stuff, because it's almost like, I mean, you're so far away from people, you don't have to fight for it. And it's like you said, there's no panic.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, gonna go shred this line. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get back in the lift line. Okay, cool. No one's still here. I'm just going to, it's cool to see I think that's what's cool about small areas off the grid, and why I'm always saying, like, I want to go visit all these weird places. Again, you're not going to always hit it like that, right? You guys, like, lucked out.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's cool to see you guys do that. Even Whitecap, you guys had some fresh turns, I think, and then you guys get to Porky's, and I don't know. It's almost like a bygone era where you're like not stressed out and you can like ski pow.
Yeah,
at least for Utah.
It was just It was just so chill. Like it was just it was okay. Granted we were staying like 3 minutes down the road from the base of the mountain, but it was just chill. It was just
it was chill, but we were getting after it skiing.
Oh, we were getting after it, like So
there's a ton of good. I mean, what's the vert there?
I think that's like 650.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm trying to even think how to put that in perspective.
It's still technical skiing when you're skiing down. We were doing, trees, all that, for most of the trip, really just skiing trees. It's technical skiing still when you got tight trees like that. you got to maneuver through quick turns.
We were smashing. I'm going to use the word glades. That's a new word in my vocabulary.
Glades, yeah.
We were smashing the glades.
Smashing the glades.
Oh, we were ripping it. Like, yeah, it was.
But off that main, well, there's only one lift.
There's one lift and a rope tow.
Oh, I forgot about
Used
the
to be
rope
2
tow.
lifts.
Yeah. But off that main lift, if you turn, like, the stuff skiers right's really good.
Oh, money.
And then there's that tree line skiers left, and then you can go way out.
Jungle and they're calling it Screaming Eagle or Crying Eagle?
The sign said Crying Eagle, but everyone was calling it the Screaming Eagle. That's JT Robinson's favorite glade line at the Porkies.
But they're fun.
Mm-hmm. They're fun. They're tight, but they're like wide enough that you can actually make turns through them. Like.
A couple of the trees are shoulder width. You definitely don't want to be off on a turn and catch a tree.
No, you had to be on your toes, like ready to go left, go right, go left, go right, boom, 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 boom.
So here's a good thing. Let's talk gear. West Coast skiers go into the tight trees because I know you and I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Wyatt. But let me hear your thoughts first because I already know I talked to him about this. What kind of setup? Is a okay, you're a Mainer, but you're West Coast guy now, going to the Midwest, tight trees, boot binding, ski setup. If you had to adjust it from what you took, what would you think?
I did adjust. I guess we took the normal skis that we're skiing out here, Outlaws, Stiffies, Comps, but I cranked it down as low as it would go.
So it's softer?
Yeah, much softer setup.
Why?
I feel like if you're going when you're going at higher speeds, whatever speed we're going, mobbing down thirds or any of the runs at Alta, having more power is sweet, on those turns. But if you're trying to make those quicker turns, it's a lot more effort you have to put into the binding to flex it out to then get that, power into the ski, which you just don't need if you're on, not as steep of a terrain or not really pushing that ski hard.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I'm glad you thought that too, because that's kind of been our consensus, I think, too.
Yeah, I mean, Wyatt and I, we just took like our quote normal setups, which are, I mean, I guess for lack of a better word, I would call them like a big mountain Telemark setup, like
190 or sorry,
185 plus, 105 plus underfoot skis, stiff springs, stiff boots, like made stiff for like skis. Going fast and going just like big open turns. And maybe that was a mistake, but those are the setups that we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of interesting from a gear perspective of like, for the first time in, I don't know, like 3 years since I went to stiff springs on the Outlaws, that I actually backed it down to like 1. I'm usually like stiff spring on 3 guy. I backed it all the way down to 1 because I wanted, like just what Wyatt said of like, it's taking like at really high speeds, like just inherently as a skier, you're putting more energy into that boot and binding combination at high speeds and bigger turns. But I didn't need to put as much energy into like, a short little turn just to dodge that tree on my left side and then a short little turn to dodge that tree on my right side. Yeah. And so that was kind of interesting.
You're taking a lot of turns for the 600 vert that you have there.
Oh, we skied hard that day. Like hard. We were beat after that day.
Yeah. See, I love hearing you guys say that because I think that's what people, again, and I think why we want to invest into the Midwest too, is exactly what you're saying. It's not, you can ski hard. And if you're someone who's bored of alpine skiing or snowboarding,
that's why I switched over to East Coast. So skiing one resort, and I kind of felt like not maxed out my ability at a resort, but it was how do I have more fun on this groomer or this bump run that I've skied 300 times or whatever
right.
It is, and that new challenge of Telemark
totally
makes it a lot more fun.
It's just it adds this layer, right? Like it adds an additional challenge, and then you have to like it basically kind of wipes. It's sort of like. You guys even know? I was just gonna say some Etch-a-Sketch. You even know what that is?
I know what an Etch-a-Sketch is.
It's like shaking it, and like starting over and like having to start over with it. But I think that's the big thing with the Midwest. And I like that you guys are saying the things you're saying because I think a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, I live in California, I live in Utah, I live in Colorado, like Midwest, but. You know what I mean? Because if you have this lackluster sort of like experience and you're like, oh, it's 600 vert, whatever.
Still a challenge.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, I think people forget that there's one, you have these incredibly dedicated skiers, which are perfect for Telemark.
100%. You got to be dedicated.
You got to be dedicated.
You know, you got to do something that's slightly harder. You know, your friends might make fun of you, but you're dedicated.
Yeah, no, I love it, and just yeah, I like how you guys are describing it, because I think that's really important for people to hear. Is like, you know, yeah, people are like watching you guys in these videos, and you guys are like jumping off cliffs and being all crazy, and you know, whatever. But you know, when it really comes down to it, and you know, like getting in that terrain, it's difficult in its own sort of way, and you really can push yourself, and you know, it's easy to brush it off, you know. And I honestly think that's what people have done over the years. Is they're like, you know, we always heard that it's like, oh, why can't you bring a demo or do something out in the Midwest? It's like, you know I've always thought that. I'm like, man, if we could just get stuff to people there, they're gonna love this, because 600 vert, yeah. If you're just making alpine turns, it's probably going to get boring after a while.
Same way at Porky's too, and we were that one lift up, but there was a lot of other terrain to get to ski. A lot of fresh lines, just to, you know, hike, little side step or a hike, and be on Telly's too makes that way faster to get around.
Yeah, it was like one lift that takes you up, and then, you know, for 500 yards to your right and 200 yards to your left, you know, as far as you wanted to kind of duck walk or waddle or skate or whatever, you know, tele transportation on flat ground, you call it, to get to
tele transportation.
Yeah, to get to a new glade line, like that is perfect for being on tele gear. Like you're just more mobile. You can
forget that
around.
rope toe's there too. That's the rope toe kind of goes that side.
Yep,
dude,
side
that
up.
rope toe is fast.
Well, the Alta rope toe runs slow.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I don't ride.
Is
rope
that the
toes a
fastest?
lot.
Is that the fastest? See, an Alta rope toe is not really a rope toe.
It's like a chairlift.
That's
you get
like
dragged. It's
no,
almost nothing.
the Alta rope toe is like a droopy, weird.
Yeah,
it's like loops. It's like,
no,
I'm gonna grab the loop.
It's
and
not
go. It's not a rope toe like you're talking about, where like
a
you
rope.
stand up to it and you look and you're like, dude, this is going really fast. Like,
you grabbed it and it launched you. It was fun. Like it was kind of scary. Like you were going really fast on this rope toe. And maybe that's my just West Coast, you know, spoiled Utah boy perspective.
No, but there's not a lot of those rope toes left, which is fun when you go to those.
And
places.
I think it was like the rope toe was like running on, you know, must have been some old like
some old Steelies.
Yeah, some old wheels off a car that the rope's just like running around. And so we get to, you know, we just smashed laps, you know, skiing pow in the morning, and then the sun kind of starts poking out in the afternoon, which, oh my God, did the sun feel good.
Well, the wind calmed down too.
The wind calmed down, the sun came out, you know. It was still probably only like, you know, 0 or maybe 1 degree positive. But it was like, that felt so warm. Like I was a little bit distracted as to how cold it was based on how good the skiing was. But it was like, it was so nice to feel the sun. And so we hop on this rope toe and I'm like, oh my God, this rope toe is really fast. And we get up and the guy sitting in the rope toe shack, Willie actually bought these Caravan pig dogs that are these like 190.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They bought the pig dogs from here?
They were sitting right on the shed.
Sitting there with the Telemark skier sticker and the optic nerve and all those other stickers that I think that was actually old Shell's skis.
Those were Shell Ellison skis. And Shell, you're getting shout outs all over the place on this one.
Shell lives in Minneapolis.
Yeah, he should go
He's
find
a Midwesterner. But so yeah, I see these pig dogs sitting there at the shack, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Those literally sat in our consignment shop for like 3 years,
beginning.
4 years, 5 years even.
5 years.
They're sweet skis.
It was meant to be, I guess.
Those were made by Zeph Hallowell, by the way.
Telemark skier, lipstick days.
Old school. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
So I hop off this rope toe after getting just zipped on this rope toe like so fast. and I walk up to the guy. I'm like, dude, those are sick. Like, you bought those from us. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, we're from Freeheel Life. He's like, what? That's so sick. And just super funny. Like, we met Willie, and he had these skis that he bought from our consignment shop. And these are crazy skis for the, like, They're just crazy skis in general, but crazy skis for the Midwest. They're like
skis
190, 120 plus underfoot, probably full reverse camber. And he got, mounted them up. He had NTNs mounted up on them. And like for the day, it probably would have been fun because they would have been super nimble. You could get in and out of stuff, even though they're long and floating on the POW. But that was kind of a nice little like touch of home of just
That's crazy. I can't believe that. I didn't even know those weren't here anymore.
Those ended up at Porcupine State Park.
Wow.
At Willie the rope tow operator. Yeah.
That's great.
Sweet. Right off that rope tow, went and skied the freshly cut glade by JT and Gavin.
Midwest Tele Glades.
Oh, did you guys actually go
Midwest
ski?
Telefest glades.
Oh, from when they went and did all that cleanup.
Yeah, they did some glading in the summer. And so we smashed that lap and, skied the rest of the afternoon. I mean, yeah, we pretty much skied a full bell-to-bell day that day, and then, we kind of just cruised back to the cabin and just kind of chilled, hung out, drank some hams, whatever other Midwest beers we had. And then,
some Schlitz. Did you guys have any Schlitz while you're out there?
No Schlitz. I had
Mitch
an old Milwaukee Easy Rider.
Well, I don't even know what that is.
Cheap beer from the Midwest.
Old Milwaukee. I mean, I know Old Milwaukee, but
I don't know.
Like Easy Rider.
Yeah. So Friday, we skied hard, super stoked, skied some POW, and then Saturday morning was I think Friday was kind of like it was part of the festival, but it was more just about going skiing. Saturday was like quote festival day, and so we had demo tent. And there was a few more people there that day. I think we ended up figuring there was almost 200 teleskiers that day. So it was super rad.
More than I've seen at one resort in a long time. Probably since like the NATO Fest, that last Telefest. You don't see that many teleskiers all in one spot at one time.
Like you said, like the perspective though is like you're literally in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's crazy to think that there's that many people.
Talk about hardcore Midwest skiers. I mean, people drove like 10 hours to come hang out at Midwest Telefest.
Lower Peninsula Pinheads.
Oh, yeah.
All the way from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah, shout out to the Lower Peninsula Pinheads. Yeah.
There's a lot of crews out there. Mm-hmm. I don't think people realize.
The Tele vibes were just high. Like, people were stoked, a bunch of young people, a bunch of people that had only been telling and, a couple years, maybe even this season was their first year on teles. And, they were just, the vibes were good on tele. And so Saturday was demo day and Wyatt and I skied like 2 laps in the morning. And then we had to go help Keith with the demo because we were just getting absolutely slammed, which was awesome. Like, much appreciated to all you Midwest Telefest participants that took advantage of the demos. So we had a pretty solid fleet of demo gear. Wyatt and I flew with an extra ski in both of our ski bags to just add 2 more pairs to the demo fleet.
Most of the time, though, there wasn't skis to kind of give out. We were pretty limited. Everything was going out so quick.
Yeah, it sounds like we're gonna need to have more skis, especially in the large.
Yeah, we were like out of large NTNs for a while, but they were just going in and out, and it was only like -2 that day, and -2 and skiing is one thing, -2 and standing at a demo tent is another thing. Luckily, we had this little it was, I don't know if it was like a ski patrol shack or storage shed. But
he told me about that.
We had this little shed where we were keeping the boots inside, so the boots weren't like totally frozen.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, you guys need like Polaris suits.
That'd be sweet.
I need some mucklucks. That's what I needed for the Midwest.
Oh yeah, Keith had those boots that were legit.
Yeah,
dude.
That's the muckluck.
That's the muckluck.
Yeah,
with the Telemark patch right on the side of them.
Yeah, because apparently there was a ski area called Telemark.
Oh yeah, in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I know.
It's pretty sick.
If anybody wants to help us buy that, let us know.
Should we GoFundMe for purchasing back Telemark ski
It just
area?
got bought again, actually. Telemark, Wisconsin, and Cable, Wisconsin. That's where it's at. So,
where's Duck Butt, Wisconsin?
No idea, but I know that that patch I got on my vest.
Yeah,
that brown one. That's from Cable. Yeah, that's from Cable.
Awesome.
It's kind of had a rocky past.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. Cool name, obviously.
Obviously,
but yeah. So super sick demo. Like hooked up a lot of people with first time experiences with the NTN.
Or first time tele too.
First time on teles.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just good vibes. Like the demo days are always fun, like hooking people up with new setups. And then
Steve Benson and Keith hooked it up for us. Got to get a couple more laps out after that on the leathers.
Yeah, I laced them up. Wyatt had super comps. What a cheater.
Still a lace up.
Wyatt's cheating on super comps.
I had lace up liners.
Intuition
liners.
I know. Wyatt was living life of luxury. But yeah, we hopped on some leathers, and Keith probably had 4 or 5 pairs of 200 plus, old school stuff. And you were just getting on a cable binding, dude. I was on 3 pins. Come on.
Volley plate binding.
Dude, that's a plate binding. That's more than a 3-pin.
There's a lot of hate going on here.
I'm a purist. I don't ski NTN anymore. I only ski lace-ups and 3-pins.
Only cowhide.
But yeah, so we shredded
the vegan tele skiers are gonna hate you guys. Just saying.
Hey,
we get
Scarpa Telemark boots. At least the NTNs, one I know for a fact, are vegan.
The which ones?
Any of the Scarpa NTNs.
Oh, the P-back stuff.
Yeah, it's a vegan boot. There's no animal products used.
We've still got plenty in stock for all you guys that want to know.
TX comps specifically.
Vegan friendly.
TX comps are really sick.
Can't eat them though if you get lost in the backcountry.
Don't. Maybe you can.
Well, so yeah, we shredded leathers. I think that was your first experience on a super comp, right?
Yeah.
You had been how many days on leathers have you done? You were initiated last year, and then
I think we got one more day on them, but I got a solo extremes. So
you did good on the initiation last year. You got stuck on the Europas.
Yep.
You did good. We got video of it.
Oh yeah.
It was a soft day.
What was your experience on having the VP1, the plate binding and a super comp?
Night and day difference.
Dude.
So much different. It felt like a TX comp.
VP1, for you guys that don't know what we're talking about, Volley plate binding 1 is essentially when there was a 3-pin binding, and then Volley in the 80s came out with this like plastic, maybe like 2-3 mil thick piece of plastic that mounted under your 3-pin binding and went under your boot, and then had a bungee heel with this like weird little aluminum heel throw on it. And then the best part about that one is that it was a V-notch on the back of the plastic, and then you mounted this like little triangular piece on your ski. It's called a heel locator. I don't know if you noticed on your...
I don't think I had one.
Get that lateral
have
stability?
I bet you did.
You must have had, yeah.
Because basically what comes down is your flat foot.
Mm-hmm.
That little V goes into the heel locator.
Locates.
Gives you nice lateral stability.
Almost worse, though. I think it added more boot jack to the setup than
I like the boot jack keeps living on
than just a 3-pin.
Oh man,
yeah.
Keith's got some weird setups.
They were mounted on some Grateful Dead. I don't know who made the skis, but super sweet Grateful Dead.
Yeah, they were like Deadhead tele skis.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, until I met him, I thought I was like, oh cool, I've got all this old weird stuff, and then like he sends me stuff.
Keith has a whole shed full of old tele.
No, he has like some crazy history that I'm like not even aware of.
Yeah.
And he'll like,
awesome.
yeah, no, it's awesome. So anyways, Keith Opperman, Midwest.
So yeah, we wrapped up the afternoon shredding leathers, and then that brings us to kind of the close. I think we basically went like 2:30 to 4:30 or 4:15 or whenever they closed the lift.
We were
doing our last chair, and then skiing with old Mitchell from the Midwest Tele dads, or the Midwest Tele dad himself. I think is Mitchell, but
he's not a dad.
He's not a dad. He just likes moms. And so we're wrapping up kind of the event, and there was one kind of like we kind of got Midwest Telefest light a little bit. The COVID stuff,
no band.
There was no live music. There was no chili cook-off, which was kind of a bummer.
You missed out on the chili cook-off for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We missed out on that, and so we there was like brats and stuff from the cafe at the Porcupine State Park for kind of like
great food at the Porcupine State Park.
Great prices
compared to the Utah pricing.
Dude, it was like $5 and you got burger, fries, and like $1 to add on a drink. Like, when we rang up lunch, I put Wyatt in my
That was
lunch.
like
and I was like,
$14.
yeah, did you get everything? Like, we had all this stuff too.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, like, we got everything. And I was like, okay.
College
thank you
kids
very much.
working there like, yeah.
I'm used to, if you're buying food around here at a resort,
$20
you might,
a burger.
Yeah, $20 burger, $15 burger.
So I'm saying, I think there's a lot to be said for going and skiing at places like this, which is so, like, there's a lot of places like that out there, but I think it's just like, people don't think of them as like a destination, right? Like, you're not like, oh, I'm going to go to, you know what? I've got a couple days off. I'm going to head up to Porcupine State Park in Upper Peninsula, Michigan.
What was the lift ticket price too to go ski Porky's or Whitecap? It's like $50.
No more than $40.
Yeah, I think it's like 40.
Might have
compared
been
to the-
$35.
Was it like over 200 for Vail now in a couple of resorts?
Yeah.
now? Just to ski a day. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
I honestly, and I think, yeah, just side note on that, I have, and you know this from the East Coast, there are a lot of these bumps or like, you know, town hills. I wouldn't be surprised if we have like a resurgence of like small mountains with even like a rope tow on it, where people are like, you know what, I really want to like go skiing, and it's like affordable, because
I mean, that's affordable. Like, if it's $40 for a lift ticket, and if you don't want to pack a lunch and you want to just buy a hamburger, it costs $6 and you get some fries too. That seems totally reasonable.
But that's how skiing grew, like in the, after World War II, when a lot of these places popped up. And this is the thing is like, like East Coast, because like I said, like you're probably more from, that's when I think about this, is East Coast had a lot of these like local, here's a little, village or, township or whatever, and they've got like the local hill.
Yeah.
And, and it's like legit a local hill. Like it's not like some resort. It's a ski hill with like a lift. I mean, that's how skiing grew. Families used to go skiing at these places, and that's why you had all these places. And I don't know. I love everything you guys are explaining, because it just reminds me of that, and that I hope that lives on somehow, so people can go take a family and they're like, oh, cool, I can actually go for the price of a lift ticket. For a kid lift ticket, a family could ski for like
you could ski
$100
for a season for less than I can't imagine they're over $1,000 season passes.
No, not even close.
Yeah,
a couple $100.
Yeah, go ski for the whole year.
That seems like totally reasonable. Where it's like, yeah, it's my local mountain. It's pretty affordable. Or if I want to like bring a friend, introduce someone new to skiing, or Telemark preferably, but introduce someone new to the mountains. It's like that's actually kind of affordable. Like, whereas around here, good luck finding a lift ticket less than $120, and like that's just not that's not reasonable for a lot of people. Where if you're $120 for a lift ticket or more, $50, $60, $70 for rental gear, and then $20 for lunch, $10 beer. All of a sudden it's like, well, that was like a $400 ski day. Well, it's kind of expensive. I don't think I have the funds to do that all the time. And certainly some people may, but like, I know how much fun I have with skiing, and I want to make sure that other people get to experience that. And if it costs $40 for a lift ticket, a lot more people are going to have the chance to do that, versus if it costs $240 or, whatever Vail was over Christmas. I mean, at least, my group of friends, I mean, that's a lot of money, like $250. And so, that was just like, I don't know, it was just super cool to see that. And then, so, going back to Porcupine State Park, we had an awesome day, ended up on Leathers, and then got our brats, got our sauerkraut.
Got our beer.
Got our beers, and then, we were kind of hanging out with the Midwest Tele dads, and then another, outdoor fire. The Porcupine State Park had a couple fire pits. We're kind of hanging out then. Keith had a swag pack, kind of tossed some swag. We brought up some t-shirts and hats and volley straps and all that good stuff, tossed it to everybody. And then it was, minus 10, and everyone only lasted about an hour out there, and it was time to wrap it up. And then, we went and partied with the Midwest Tele dads for a couple hours, and then woke up Sunday morning and
hit the road.
and hit the road by meaning I drove an hour on completely snow-packed roads.
It was fun.
With, I could kind of see on like the outlines of, I think they plowed that like a week ago. I think that's like the shoulder. I'm just going to drive straight in the middle till I see some headlights, and then I'm going to try and creep over to the right-hand side as much as I can without driving to a ditch. And
then you never saw headlights. It's just like,
pretty much. We passed like 2 cars in an hour.
A cloud of dust coming a mile away.
Yeah, and then we hopped on dry roads, got back to Minneapolis, caught our airplane, flew to Denver. Sat in Denver for an additional like hour and a half before the flight actually left Denver and went back to Salt Lake, and made it back to Salt Lake about 11:15 at night, and I don't think I went to bed before midnight for approximately 6.5 days.
But it was sweet. Skied Monday. Got back up again.
Skied Monday.
And you guys went after it again.
Yeah.
It was a pretty epic trip, I must say.
No, that's awesome. That was a great recap, you guys. I mean, and yeah, I like that you guys touch on so many different things, and I like that you're an East Coaster. I like that you're from Utah. I like kind of meeting in the middle and like some of the crossover that exists there, and just the overall experience. Like, I mean, I think, like you said, the Tele vibes in the Midwest are amazing. They're all-time high. There's a ton of people that are into it.
Pure stoke.
It is. It's pure stoke. And and like we said, we've got our service and demo center. Keith's running it up in Washburn, appointment only, and you can get after it right through our website, freeheellife.com. And so if you want to try Tele, or you want to try some of the gear that we have available, that's a good way to do it. So that was fun, you guys. Thanks for doing that.
Awesome.
Great.
Welcome, Wyatt, to the podcast world.
Good to be here.
Now we've given you your podcast platform to talk on. So, you're single, right? Like, you're looking for women. We can help you out in your dating field now.
For the most part. It probably depends on who's listening to this.
No, I'm just teasing. But anything else you guys want to say about Midwest Telefest before we hop off?
It was a blast. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
32.
Can we go back?
Yeah.
Please?
Yeah, I know. We're going to have to like alternate, because we're going to have all
drawing names out of a hat. Who gets to go?
I don't know. All right. New schedule for next year. We're closing the shop for like a week, so everyone goes to Midwest Telefest.
I know. I drew blood last year to get a tattoo, a 30th annual tattoo. So you guys might have to be like whoever wants to get a tattoo. We're sending.
Oh boy! Don't tell Janet. My mom will be a little grumpy.
Oh yeah, you don't have a tattoo yet.
No, I don't think Wyatt does either.
No. Fresh skin.
You guys.
Saving it for the Midwest Telefest next year.
Are you gonna get it? Come on. All right, King of the Heel. King of the Heel's going on, so we need to get a tattoo. I don't know what I'm going to get, but
we need to start catching up on King of the Heel.
We're
running out of time.
Sucking at that. Sorry, Telemark, Colorado guys. We'll catch up. But all right, cool. Good talking to you guys. Awesome recap. Thanks for bringing us up to date on the Midwest Telefest 31st annual extravaganza, and we'll catch up with you guys later.
Follow me on Instagram at Telete.
Oh yeah.
Wyatt Daigle. You can follow me or not.
Snapchat.
Knocking that out.
Slide into them DMs.
Yeah.
All right.
Hit me up for the tech questions.
We're going to keep it as appropriate as possible and cut it off right now. All right.
Until next time.
See ya.
Thank
Peace.
you. Bye.
Woo-wee. That was a lot of fun talking to those boys. What a grand time they had traveling up there together. And thank you to everyone out there that took care of them and showed them that Midwest nice, showed them the tree skiing, and man, they hit it right. Powder days and great people. Can't thank you all enough for supporting Freeheel Life out there. And great to know that now that we've got our service and demo center in Washburn, Wisconsin, that we're going to be making that a more regular occurrence and a more regular appearance from some of the Salt Lake staff. So thank you so much for a great time. And like I said, time to celebrate as a worldwide group this Saturday, World Telemark Day do not forget hashtag World Telemark Day, hashtag Spread Telemark, hashtag Get Rad. It's going to be a good time. So if you want to support the podcast directly and toss a little extra our way, you can always make a donation of your choice to paypal.me/freeheellife. As always, we want to be your preferred Telemark shop. Please consider shopping at freeheellife.com or come to the shop in Salt Lake. We will be open until the middle of April in the brick and mortar, and we are always available online. You can reach out to us directly with your questions at customerservice@freeheellife.com for all of your Telemark therapy needs. We are happy to help, and we have what I would, I'm obviously biased, but I would like to think that we are the best Telemark staff in terms of knowledge and helpfulness that can get you the answers that you need. And we are always striving to be better. So you can always hit us up at customerservice@freeheellife.com for the therapy sesh, or even just to let us know what we could do better. We encourage you to let us know so we can improve. New articles and whatnot on telemarkskier.com. Keep an eye on that for World Telemark Day. We may have a little something for you. And you can always email me directly at podcast@freeheellife.com. I love you all so much. This is going to be a badass weekend. I can't wait to see all of the fun people are having. If you can't ski because of COVID restrictions, I completely understand, and I hope that you can join along as well, and we can hopefully as a collective community bring some joy to the folks that cannot get on the slope and during this unfortunate time. And like I said, we'll be at Alta, socially distancing, but having a grand old time and making turns for all of our brothers and sisters. So until next week on Monday, when I drop a new podcast, I want you to all spread Telemark always, my friends. See you this weekend. Peace out.